this video I'm going to do some fly tying, and today's pattern is the black woolly bugger tied in my preferred style, here with the hot orange bead head. If I need some subtlety, then sometimes I'll go for a version with a black bead head, but I usually find this to be far more effective. Let's get into the tying. I'm tying this on a 4x length number 10 streamer hook, and we've got a 3.5mm hot orange tungsten bead at the head. And now I'm going to wrap around some wire. You can use non-lead wire or lead wire. Fill the entire shank with this, just to add a bit of weight and a little bit of bulk to the body. Touching turns right the way up into the bead. Snap it off, push it up into the head, wrap the tail a little way back, and snap that off there. I'm going to add a little bit of super glue before starting with the thread. Just fasten everything in place, and because I'm using gel spun thread, it's a little bit slippery, and this will help just to grip at the beginning. Using a 50 denier gel spun thread, and I like to use this on my streamers because it's very, very strong for the diameter. I'm just going to cover the lead, going back and forth in crossing wraps, just to form a nice smooth body to start with. Come back to the end of the hook shank, and here we're going to tie in the tail. For this we use black Marabou. Just going to snip some fibres off one side of a feather. Pinch them together. Catch them in back here, wrap forward to tie down the ends. We've got our tail. I'm going to want to cut it off about here. What I'm going to do is hold it between my thumb and forefinger and rip it off. This is better than doing with scissors, as it gives a more natural finish and better movement in the water. I'm going to take a strand of flash. You can use any flash here, but I'm going to use a red fish scale flash. I'm just going to tie it in so it's the same length as the Marabou. Start on my side, catch it in, over to the other side, check there, you snip it off at the length of the Marabou. That'll do for our flash. Now we're going to tie in our rib. The rib is fine gold wire. Again, catch it in at the base of the tail. Wrap forward to secure and wrap back. Now the chenille. standard black chenille. And to tie in, I'm just going to remove the chenille at the end and expose the core. So we've got a slimmer section to tie in. Now that's tied down, wrap the thread up to the bead. I'm going to wrap the chenille in touching turns going clockwise forwards until we reach the bead and tie it off there. Keep the chenille attached to the dispenser rather than cutting off a length so don't waste any. Just gonna catch it in, tie it down, snip off nice and close to the body. Just add a few more wraps to cover that end. And now I'll take a hackle. I think typically with woolly bugger soft hackle is used, but I prefer to use cock hackle. I prefer the stiffer fibres that make more noise in the water. So I'm just going to use a black cock hackle, pull off the fluffy fibres at the end. And I catch it in right at the bead. Nice and tight. Snip off the stem. And do some hackle pliers. Grab the hackle. Do one full turn at the front and then start winding my way back along the body in open turns. Now I've got to the end, I'm going to grab my rib and go over the hackle and come back to the front in the reverse direction. I'm going to wiggle this rib through as I go, which helps get through the feather fibres and not trap them down against the body. May not be the neatest, but there we go. I got to the bead, I just come around and tie it off with the thread. Around a few times. And now I'll just wiggle the wire until it breaks. Sometimes takes a few times. And break off right at the fly. Now take a few turns to push the fibres back. I'll just take my whip finish tool. finish, since it's gel spun thread, definitely go round again to make sure no slipping. There we go. Cut off the thread. Go in at the back to cut off the hackle, although we just pulled it off, so there we go. All that's left to do, add a little bit of varnish, or add a UV resin, whatever you like, to secure the thread at the head. And the top, some on the bottom. Some on each side for luck. And there we have it. A hothead black woolly bugger. All of the materials used for tying this fly can be found down in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.